time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, good morning, 6:23. First news with Keeler in the morning. Good morning, Tim Reed. How are you?
Good morning. We got more snow, just what we needed.
Yes.
Keep it coming.
Reminds me of, what's that show? I never watched the show, but every time someone repeats a line from me, it makes me laugh. It's Family Guy. And they had Adam West was the mayor.
Yeah.
The Adam West character was the mayor. And someone pelts his car with like rotten apples. And he's like, "Is that rotten apples?" "Well, we needed it."
Exactly.
He thinks they're falling
The
from
glass
the
is
sky.
half full.
Yeah, I guess so. Look, I hate to mention this because it'll change 9 times before lunchtime today. But I was looking ahead at the forecast because I'm literally counting down the hours so we can get rid of some of this snow because I'm just so over it. Again, and everybody says this, we've had snowstorms on Mother's Day. We get mid-March snowstorms. I get it. But my counter to that is the temperature is usually warmed up enough by then. It doesn't linger for 3 months.
Exactly. It's actually an issue that it was covering the grass. We have yet to see the grass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Since like early December. I know we got a December thaw, and then we had a bit of an early January thaw, but then we got that bitter cold. We've had snowstorms since then. So I'm not concerned. I understand we could still get hit in March or April or May or I guess maybe June. But I'm under the mental impression, and maybe I'm wrong, that it'll be gone within a week. Like the snowbanks we have now still have snow from early December in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, my point being, I'm looking at my phone app. I check it multiple times a day because it updates so often.
Were you excited about Saturday?
Well, here's what happened. We talked to Ray Stajic yesterday, and he said we could see. I was a little concerned even when we talked to him because my phone app, which is different, it's not from the Weather Channel, was telling me Saturday was going to be 45 degrees. After we talked to Ray, later in the morning, I don't know, Smitty, we're running around. We had to do some interviews yesterday. The Radiothon, it's next Friday, so we're doing some stuff. I checked my phone. We had a lull in between the interviews. Now I see Friday and Saturday are 45 degrees.
Ooh.
I said, wow, okay, it's getting better. Which obviously tomorrow's Friday. Now I look this morning, it says Friday's 41, Saturday's 42. And if you look way ahead to next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend is 48, 50, and 53. I'll take that. But the problem is it's going to change before tomorrow, and it'll probably be downgraded to, low 40s or something.
Jeff, Lucy's holding the football.
Yeah. Very good, Tim. Very good. I'll keep falling for it. So Katie Aiello's holding the football, and I keep
exactly.
falling
There
for
you
it.
are, in the dark.
Well, if anybody wants to weigh in on that, by the way, send a comment what your thoughts are on this. Is it appropriate for a Utica council person to be doing that? And I don't necessarily mean access to the files, but it's the way it's described by the Corporation Council. From that confidential memo I read, it sure sounds to me like they believe she was down there sneaking around. She was on the program on Tuesday.
Right.
You can check that out on our YouTube page if you missed the interview. But in her words, no, I do that all the time. I've done that dozens of times, I believe she said. And well, what were you looking for? I don't even remember what I was looking for that day.
There was one part where it made it sound like she was taking a walk through history or whatever it was, because she likes looking at stuff from the 40s or whatever. I don't know. It just struck me as odd. I don't know.
A lot of stuff in the news today. Will we learn more about who's involved with Jeffrey Epstein? I have to mention this too, because it drives me crazy. I will see stories that say things like, it'll talk about Epstein, and they always want to put in all these describing features, so they don't want to just refer to him as Epstein. If they're going to reference him 6 times in the stories, they're going to say once convicted sex offender,
right?
Alleged pedophile. So and a lot of times what they'll refer to him as disgraced financier. Disgraced financier? How about disgraced, sex trafficker?
I don't even know why. I mean, I think Epstein's name is so synonymous with all these horrible things. It's like, you don't have to add stuff to this is probably not a moral equivalency, but you don't have to add stuff to like Adolf Hitler's name, right?
Right.
You kind of know it's not a good thing. So I think Epstein has now gotten himself to that place where if you say that name, it's not good. You don't have to say, disgraced financier or whatever, or,
Hitler, the former speed abuser.
Exactly.
Is that
that guy?
Yeah. I don't trust him. He was using the speed. No, he killed millions of people for no reason. All right, so this is I just pulled this here from USA Today. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and former President Bill Clinton set to give depositions to a House committee this week as part of its investigation into late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. I think we're going to get one of those drops right here.
Oh, yeah.
The depositions will take place near the Clintons' house in Chappaqua, New York. Hillary Clinton scheduled to testify today, followed by Bill Clinton tomorrow. Both depositions will be transcribed and filmed. Okay, so I thought this was like a live hearing. No, this is a behind-the-scenes interview.
Oh, it is? I thought it was live.
It says...
she's doing.
Let's see here.
She's doing it today, and Bill's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We look forward to questioning the Clintons as part of our investigation into the horrific crimes of Epstein and Maxwell to deliver transparency and accountability for the American people and for survivors, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said earlier this month. The Clintons agreed to appear in person after the Republican-led House moved toward a vote to hold them in contempt of Congress, a step that could have led to criminal charges. The high-profile Democrats had previously offered to cooperate with the panel but not appear in person, saying the investigation was a partisan exercise aimed at protecting President Donald Trump. Here's what you need to know for the deposition, and again, this is via USA Today. Bill Clinton appears in documents related to Epstein that have been released by the Department of Justice. The former president is among many prominent people in politics, finance, academia, and business who have appeared in the files, but before and after Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008 to prostitution charges. Clinton's name appears in flight logs from 2002 and 2003 that document travel with Epstein to destinations including Thailand, Portugal, Ghana, Russia, and China. Those trips took place years before Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008 to charges related to prostitution involving a minor. Hold on. Am I getting an ad here? The former president. Oh, this is great. The former president also appeared in pictures and a handwritten note. Hold on. I've got this ad popping up. Yeah, you've got to be kidding me. We're going to have to delay here. Well, I guess you know where I'm going with this. And it's possible those will be live, although I'm not sure that they will be live. But it says they will be filmed and transcribed.
So I see Larry Summers, who was the former Treasury Secretary for Trump, I think the first administration. He just stepped down from his professorship at Harvard. And I see that also, I think it was in today's paper or whatever it is, that Bill Gates has kind of issued a formal apology for his transgressions.
Yeah, he's admitted to 2 affairs with Russian women, but says none of them were minors.
Yeah. His ex-wife isn't real happy with this whole thing getting regurgitated.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she's not, but yeah, it's really an ugly situation. And still no one other than, Epstein was being held awaiting trial, but that never happened because he killed himself or somebody killed him. And then Maxwell was convicted, but other than that, no one's ever been convicted of any wrongdoing in this.
Yeah.
He's this kingpin pedophile, sex trafficker, and nobody else has ever faced charges. And it really, I think it's embarrassing the way the government has handled it. The Biden administration and right now the Trump administration.
It's equal opportunity stupidity in regards to how this was handled. He did pretty well for a high school phys ed teacher, from where he came.
It's unbelievable. And
now,
then,
I do wonder, I wonder if in the back of the president's mind, if he ends up getting shellacked in November, that then he ends up getting deposed in regards to this whole thing. I do wonder that.
Well, I think that's fine. I think whoever's involved in this should be held accountable.
Yeah.
Has he never testified? I thought there was, maybe I'm wrong on that. I thought he had testified. Maybe that was a lawsuit, not a criminal proceeding, where Trump had to answer some questions about Epstein. But yeah, it's incredible. And then Trump comes out and essentially, I saw a parody account basically saying that he was blaming it on Martians, the aliens. Yeah. Because I know last week he started opening up about this, what the government knows about, I want to say foreign intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence, maybe alien intelligence and the things that the United States government might have as far as equipment or bodies. I don't know, I wanted to break into a Trump impression there, but I don't think it was the right time. And then here's another big story that occurred yesterday. Cuba's government said late Wednesday that 10 passengers on a boat that opened fire on its soldiers were armed Cubans living in the United States, and they were trying to infiltrate the island and unleash terrorism.
Yeah.
The announcement came hours after Cuba said its soldiers killed 4 people and wounded 6 more aboard a Florida-registered speedboat that had entered Cuban waters and opened fire on the soldiers first, injuring 1 Cuban officer. Cuba's government said the majority of the 10 people on the boat have a known history of criminal and violent activity. Well, I'm glad they were in the United States. That's great.
Exactly.
We don't have a problem with that here. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio had told reporters earlier that he was made aware of the incident and that the U.S. is now gathering its own information to determine if the victims were American citizens or permanent residents. We have various different elements of the U.S. government that are trying to identify elements of the story that may not be provided to us now, Rubio said while at the airport in St. Kitts, where he was attending a regional summit with Caribbean leaders. The Cuban government identified 2 of the boat passengers. Oh, boy, I'm going to struggle with these names. Amijal Sanchez. Amijal, is that how it's pronounced? Sanchez Gonzalez. And Leordan Enrique Cruz Gomez. He must have been married a few times. Who were wanted by Cuban authorities based on their involvement in the promotion, planning, organization, financing, support, or commission of actions carried out in the national territory or in other countries in connection with acts of terrorism. So a bizarre situation there.
We call this Bay of Pigs light.
I guess so. And then the measles outbreaks. This is just a growing story, literally. The number of cases in South Carolina's measles outbreak is nearing 1,000. The Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy says there are now 979 cases of the highly contagious disease in that state, with 6 more cases reported this week. As a matter of fact, when we talked to Dr. Hall on Tuesday, the number was 973. It is up 6. Over 900 people in the measles outbreak are unvaccinated. And I'm wondering if there's been any deaths tied to this most recent outbreak. Boy, we had it nearly eradicated. Your generation had it nearly eradicated. Then we came in and screwed it all up.
You know, in the old days, what they used to do, Oneida County used to have what we called the shot wagon. They had a big, like, bus thing. And I remember going to it would stop like in front of stores and things like that or whatever it is, and the public would just line up, and you get your shots of whether it was the flu or whether it was the measles or whatever it is. Everyone would just go in and get vaccinated.
And I've also been told that, for instance, when you would go to school, there wouldn't be a parental waiver. There wouldn't be. They would just say, hey, our records say you're not up to date on whatever. And the nurse is down there, so just go down there and they doop, doop, doop.
Yep.
And it's a completely different world today.
Did they fluoride your teeth when you were a kid in school?
I don't think so.
They did
I do
ours.
not remember that.
They did ours.
Well, so my understanding was always that there was fluoride in the water, and that was supposed to protect our teeth.
No, I think it was maybe it was even before they were fluoridating the water, but they would fluoridate your teeth. I mean, it was like a 2 or 3 treatment thing or whatever it is that they treat your teeth or whatever.
So, and what did that entail? Just rubbing the teeth with fluoride for like a quick wipe down?
Yeah, it was like with cotton or something like that, as I recall.
And it was a quick in and out, 10 seconds kind of deal?
Yeah.
Interesting. It would seem that that's easier to do than fluoriding the water. I mean, to have someone come in or everyone come in and just do a 10-second whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yep.
At some point during the school day when you're young in the morning, as opposed to putting all that fluoride in the water. Is this a conspiracy? I mean, I know it's a conspiracy.
The
I'm
aliens
wondering,
told us to do this.
Yes.
I heard an interesting thing. Actually, I do occasionally listen to Joe Rogan, and he's had some people on regards to it. And this whole alien thing is that basically kind of the two big rocks to it is, number one, that not only the United States has alien material, there's various countries that have it.
Yes.
Because, we are not the chosen ones, believe it or not, even though it is the golden age. So, and we're kind of in an arms race to back engineer this stuff faster than primarily the Chinese and the Russians. And the second thing is this stuff isn't being held by the government. It's being held by basically big defense contractor people. Totally kind of to a certain extent shut off from the government.
So, well, hold on now. I'm confused because I guess that's the part I don't understand.
Yeah.
These defense contractors are separate from the U.S. government.
Yes.
But that's a fairly new phenomenon, right? I mean,
no.
Like we had these defense contractors in the 60s, 70s, 50s,
40s.
Really?
We had them in World War II. Those guys that were making money or whatever it was, they've been around for a long time.
Wow. See, I thought pre like 1990s the U.S. government handled all that stuff. I thought
these are private organizations.
Right. And I didn't think the U.S. government was allowing them to be involved and to go over and handle this type of stuff. For instance, like, was it, I want to say Roswell, Area 51. Yeah. That's not
that's Air Force.
And allegedly, when we talk about an alien, the crash in Roswell and the alien being that was allegedly recovered there, although I guess it was deceased, and the craft, that all went to Roswell or to Area 51, which is a government facility.
Right.
So how did the defense contractors get in on this?
So I'm not sure exactly how that happened. They have said though that one of the things is it's interesting to think that how do you keep a conspiracy like this quiet? Right. I mean, you've got probably hundreds, thousands of people are involved in it. But I mean, they're saying it kind of would be almost like dealing with the mafia, right?
Right.
Yeah. If you talk, not only are they going to take you out, but they probably say, I hope you love your family because we're going to get them too. I mean, there's certainly a threat of terror. So, I don't know.
You talk about the Rogan podcast. I know someone he's talked to, and this was an employee of the United States government, that Bob Lazar.
Oh, yeah.
He used to be on Coast to Coast AM quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I recently saw an interview with he and Rogan, although it was from several years ago. But the point being, I just thought it was weird when it made me really second guess. I do believe we're not the only life form in the galaxy. You know, we're not the only life form on a planet. But he was describing some of what he's seen, what some of the research was. And then as Rogan starts probing with more specific questions, first of all, he's got another guy in the studio with him who kind of helps filter his answers, I guess, for lack of a better term. But then he'll go, "Oh, I don't know. I'm starting to get this headache. I don't know how many more questions I can do," which is a lot to me like sneaking around a basement with a flashlight,
right?
Not knowing what you were looking for.
Yeah,
I don't know that I fully buy
there's
that.
a lot of charlatans, no doubt.
I don't know if I buy that. So I'm actually surprised to hear you say that it's in the possession of somebody other than the U.S. government, because we are in somewhat of an arms race, I guess, to reverse. And it's not an arms race, but to reverse engineer that technology, whatever it might be. And there's one in particular. Before I move on, I'm trying to remember which South American city it was in, but there was like a craft that
Sao Paulo.
Might have been, where a craft that crashed, and there was this small
and the
being
guy
who had encountered people, and the guy had cancer.
The guy got very sick. He died. Yeah, the guard that picked him up brought him to a hospital, and they go, "What is this?" And and supposedly I guess the U.S. government grabbed that. Right. Well, so what I'm saying is that potentially it's a public-private partnership that takes place that is a black op that's taking place with the United States government that could very well be held at bay from the political arm of the United States.
Right.
I'm saying that. Okay. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that's happening with the CIA and whatever, these other things or whatever it is that perhaps the president is unaware of. Perhaps. I feel like I'm on the National Enquirer or something. I mean, it's just stuff happens.
Yeah, and it's funny because, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this was all thought to be cuckoo, and now you have the government admitting parts of it. Not only that we would have some non-human beings or non-human craft, but they're also saying, and guess what? We're not the only ones. There are many other governments around the world who have this stuff as well, remnants from crash sites and things like that. So, all right. We took a turn here this morning, Tim, although I think it's very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
It's Coast to Coast AM 2.0. If you want to weigh in on this, you're welcome to. I'm also looking up, I heard yesterday, and I want to get into this, one of the soldiers in Venezuela who was there when Maduro was captured described what it was like when the U.S. came in, and helicopters and drones, and he describes this. I have to look for the words that he uses or the way they translate it. But essentially this device that was like a humming sound that gave them headaches.
Oh, the Havana
throw up.
The Havana syndrome weapons.
Yeah,
sonic weapons.
I wonder if any of that is tied to a life form beyond us. I don't know. I'll get the exact terminology. I heard about this yesterday, and I thought it was very interesting. It makes the United States military look fantastic, which is great. But it just scares me that if we have this technology, if we were ever in a conflict with a Russia or a China or a country that has advanced technologies like this, what would they be able to do to us?
Well, interesting.
Guys had blood coming out of their ears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a question about that called the Havana syndrome, because what was happening is that a lot of our embassies apparently were having issues with people who were having a lot of these very same symptoms. And they think that it was basically some sort of a sonic weapon that was being pointed at them for experimentation. And I don't know if it was the Russians or the Cubans or whomever that was doing these things. So, yeah.
We'll take a quick time out. We'll come right back. It is First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Warner Sales and Service. building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
Crime is already skyrocketing in 2026. You may already own a firearm, but before you face the financial, legal, and emotional weight of pulling the trigger, there's a smarter option. Byrna. That's B-Y-R-N-A. Byrna makes less lethal launchers that fire tear gas and kinetic rounds designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to escape and call for help without deadly consequences. Their best-selling compact launcher is sleek, slim, and incredibly powerful. About the size of a smartphone, it's ideal for concealed carry, comfortable, discreet, and confidence building. It fires at 400 feet per second with serious stopping power, enough to shut down a threat fast without the legal and moral complexity of lethal force. Byrna is proudly American. Over 85% of components are U.S. sourced, and every launcher is hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. With over 750,000 sold worldwide, Byrna is best in class, and it's legal in all 50 states. No background checks, shipped straight to your door. Visit Byrna.com today and find the right launcher for your family. That's BYRNA.com.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kataria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road, New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
Megan, why is everybody whispering K4 like it's a secret?
Because it's the 2025 Kia K4 EX lease deal.
The one with zero do-it inception?
Yup, just $328 a month for 36 months.
Okay, say the magic part.
Even sales tax included.
Sweet, fun to drive, and no surprise math. That's a powerful combo.
It's how we make vehicles affordable.
Make that short drive to save.
Go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 25F0951. MSRP 25,515. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. Zero due at inception. Zero security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 3/2/2026.
Destination Kia.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
Everybody thinks when you buy new windows, you just rip the old one out, stick the new one in, and voila, you're done. Nope, not the case at all. Scott and Jill here from New York Sash.
The truth is, over 50% of the time, the window frame that you pulled that old window out of has all kinds of problems, and it needs to be repaired at a minimum, and a lot of times, completely replaced.
If you just stick a beautiful new window in an old, messed up frame, you're asking for problems.
And guess what? Most of the companies just use the old rip and stick method. It's easier, faster, and yep, cheaper.
At New York Sash, we carefully inspect the frame for rot, bug damage, messed up trim, and fix it or replace it.
Hey, do it right or don't do it at all.
Call New York Sash now and get 15% off windows, doors, or bathrooms. 315-624-7344 or online at newyorksash.com. That's newyorksash.com.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, a Thursday morning, 6:43. I did find an article here. Forbes has got one that I'm struggling to access. What's that, Smitty?
He said 6:43. It's 6:53.
Oh, 6:53.
You're 10 minutes behind.
Sorry. I usually tend to run about 10 minutes late. So.
That's why you got to call him 20 minutes early.
Real life application right there. All right, so Forbes has got me on I don't know if it's a paywall, and now I'm getting one on the New York Post website too. I want to pull up the information for those who haven't heard and share this account from allegedly a Venezuelan either security guard or soldier who was there when Maduro was captured. Okay, so here we go. This one is the New York Post. The U.S. used a powerful mystery weapon that brought Venezuelan soldiers to their knees, bleeding through the nose and vomiting blood during the daring raid to capture dictator Nicolas Maduro, according to a witness account posted Saturday on X by, and I guess is because this soldier or guard's name has not been released, and there's some ties to a Facebook posting, but I guess the thing that makes it somewhat valid anyway is that it was retweeted by
our president?
No, he's not on. I don't know if he's on X anymore or not, but it was White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. In a jaw-dropping interview, the guard described how American forces wiped out hundreds of fighters without losing a single soldier, using technology unlike anything he had ever seen or heard. Quote, "We were on guard, but suddenly all of our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over our positions. We did not know how to react. Moments later, a handful of helicopters appeared, barely 8 by his count, deploying what he estimated were just 20 U.S. troops in the area. But those few men, he said, came armed with something far more powerful than guns. They were technologically very advanced. They didn't look like anything we'd ever fought against before. What ensued, he said, was not a battle, but a slaughter. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. They were shooting with such precision and speed, it felt like each soldier was firing 300 rounds a minute. Then came the weapon that still haunts him." The guard says, quote, "At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt like my head was exploding from the inside," end quote. The effects were immediate and horrific. Quote, "We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was." The White House did not immediately respond to a question regarding whether Carolyn Leavitt's sharing of the post, captioned, "Stop what you are doing and read this," indicated that the administration was verifying the veracity of the eyewitness account. An estimated 100 Venezuelan security forces were killed in the January 3rd attack. It is unclear if any of those deaths were caused by this mystery weapon. The outmatched defenders were helpless as the small U.S. unit wiped them out, the guard said. Those 20 men, without a single casualty, killed hundreds of us. We had no way to compete with their technology, with their weapons. I swear I've never seen anything like it. So
Well, even if it didn't happen, it's a great story, right?
Well, from
all
that
you do
standpoint,
you do is you create fear, even if you never even really did it, right? Who knows that this may be, I don't know, made up story by the U.S. government? Who knows? And maybe make the, other nations think about it when the United States says we have issues with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's, I guess, a justification for her retweeting it. I mean, I've been in a couple fights in my day, but you should have seen the other guy. I mean, yeah. So, I get it, the whole intimidation from the intimidation standpoint, but it just makes me wonder, how advanced is this? Do other countries have this technology? And what do they have that we don't have? I mean, we're all worried about the nuclear weapon from Iran or something, which I thought we wiped out several months ago. I don't know. Everybody seems to forget that big story. It was the precision strike. They dropped it in this mountain like it was a little pill, like a little bullet, like a little baby bullet. And then I thought we had taken it out, but now apparently we're on the brink of war because I guess we didn't take it out. Right. I don't know what the case might be. But my point being, having other superpowers out there with...
no one's standing still. No one's standing still.
Yeah. With how do I want to describe it? With some alien technology that could kill us. So, All right, we're wrapping up this hour. It is 6:58. Coming up later this morning, we'll be joined by Assemblyman Brian Miller. We talked to his opponent earlier this week. We'll also get an update from Joel Barkin at the Oneida Nation. And Todd Hood, running as lieutenant governor in the state of New York. We'll talk to him as well. All this morning. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the Fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Rodin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hotfoot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Cuba is calling them terrorists who came from the U.S. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The 4 people shot dead and 6 wounded right off the coast in a speedboat registered in Florida.
It is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that.
And Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the U.S. will do its own investigation.
The Cuba government says that when this boat entered their waters, a border guard approached them wanting to get more information, and that's when the shots were fired. It happened about a mile off of Cuba's north coast. Cuba's Interior Ministry said the 10 passengers were Cuban nationals living in the U.S., and some had a known history of criminal and violent activity, and they claimed the group wanted to carry out an infiltration for terrorist purposes.
Fox's Stephanie Bennett. The U.S. and Iran are talking again now in Geneva indirectly through a mediator as President Trump demands Iran scale back its nuclear program while a U.S. military buildup continues in the region.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has told state TV that weapons of mass destruction were banned by the country's supreme leader. That clearly means, says President Pezeshkian, that Tehran won't develop nuclear weapons. But experts say Iran has since enriched uranium well beyond the level needed for a nuclear power program.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The same American envoys in those talks will sit down with the Ukrainian officials today, still trying to end Russia's war. There's more of the 2020 election fallout at the FBI. The director's angry about the scrutiny he was put under before he took charge of the bureau.
Fox confirms the FBI seized Kash Patel's and now White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles' phone records in 2022 and 2023 as part of the investigations into President Trump's effort to overturn the 2020 election results and retaining classified documents when he left office. Patel and Wiles were Trump aides named in investigations. Patel calls the subpoenas of his phone records outrageous and alarming. Meantime, at least 10 FBI employees who worked on the classified documents case were fired Wednesday.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes and their families, heroes like Scott Abrams. Now, for more than 3 decades, Scott served his community and country while he was on his NYPD motorcycle escorting a funeral procession. Scott was hit by a bus, leaving him partially paralyzed. Tunnel to Towers was able to honor Scott with a mortgage-free smart home. Please join us supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. If you can donate $11 a month, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
A win in court for ICE. A Texas grand jury declines to indict an agent
for the 2025 fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen, 23-year-old Ruben Ray Martinez, during a traffic encounter on South Padre Island. Homeland Security claims Martinez intentionally ran over an agent, prompting another officer to fire in self-defense. But a passenger in the car, Joshua Orta, disputed that account and said in a draft affidavit that Martinez was just crawling, meaning barely moving, and never hit anyone. Orta, considered a key witness, died in a car crash last weekend. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures down modestly the morning after big gains. Now that the Winter Olympics are over, the NHL season has resumed, and it was a big night for the American who scored the game-winning goal in the gold medal game.
Heroes welcome back to New Jersey for the Devils, Jack Hughes.
I'm so proud and I'm so happy that the men's and women's USA hockey teams brought gold medals back to the United States of America. And you guys are making me emotional, but I'm so proud to represent the New Jersey Devils organization.
On MSG Network, Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils also skated to the Buffalo Sabres bench and grabbed his Team USA gold medal winning teammate Tage Thompson to bring him on the ice in Jersey, as both were celebrated by the crowd.
That's Fox's Jared Max. And Hughes' Devils lost that game 2-1. It was Thompson who helped score. He scored a goal to lead the Sabres in that win. In basketball, the NBA's top teams clashed, in the Eastern Conference leaders, the Detroit Pistons, beat the West-leading Oklahoma City Thunder. In college, 6th-ranked UConn snapped St. John's 13-game win streak in a 32-point blowout. St. John's missed their last 24 shots of the game. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, maybe some light snow showers depending on your location. We did get some accumulation overnight last night if you're just hitting the roads or preparing to. So be careful out there this morning. 24 degrees at 7:05. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We have an update on the explosion in Boonville from last week. The Boonville fire chief, who was injured in that church explosion, is now out of the hospital, while 60-year-old David Pritchard Jr. has been released. 2 other firefighters, 43-year-old Nicholas Amakuchi and 71-year-old Richard Zatka, remain in critical condition. That blast happened last week at Abundant Life Fellowship Church on Route 12 in Boonville. It's believed that a fuel line was damaged before the explosion when the building shifted under the weight of heavy snow, damaging that fuel line, and then that a boiler had kicked on, igniting the explosion. You can see drone footage of the aftermath of that explosion on our website at WIBX950.com. 6 people face charges in connection with what's being called an attack at an Oneida County bar. Authorities say the suspects assaulted 2 men at a business on College Street in the village of Clinton back in November. The 2 individuals were kicked and punched repeatedly. One of the victims had to be hospitalized for several days. The suspects all faced multiple charges, and they've either been released on bail or issued an appearance ticket. For the first time in nearly 5 years, the Catholic Diocese of Syracuse emerging from bankruptcy. A judge is approving an order that will allow the diocese to start the process of distributing $176 million to those sexually abused by clergy and other church staff. Bishop Douglas Lucia says his heart breaks for the damage, the abuse inflicted on the church. Abuse inflicted on the church and its members. The diocese covers 7 counties across 116 parishes and employs roughly 3,000 people. A popular 80s rock band has been added to the list of this year's performers at the New York State Fair. Quiet Riot will take the Chevy Court stage on Wednesday, August 26th at 6 p.m. The group is known for hits like Come On Feel the Noise, Bang Your Head.
You're going to be there, aren't you, Jeff?
I think Tim and I just reserved our tickets.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to sing the way your head
We're
popped up.
We're going to go into the golden table.
There is no cost to see the show because it's part of the daily admission at the fair. It runs August 26th through September 7th. And I guess I'll save this for sports, but the Bills are offering a virtual tour of the new stadium.
Oh, are they now?
Well, stay tuned. I'll have details coming up in sports. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:08. This update is brought to you by Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion. Try Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie pieces for a limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's locations and Girl Scouts of the USA. Here is your forecast.
A little bit more persistent lake effect snow showers north, so extreme northern Oneida County into Oswego County. Still some snow showers. We may actually see a snow shower or two. Could coat the road in spots, maybe up to an inch, but I think most of it tapering off early this morning when the advisory expires. This afternoon, partly sunny and chilly upper 20s. Tonight, down near 10, single digits in the North Country. Sunshine and milder 40 tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy, some light snow, 24 degrees at 7:09. All right, in sports. Where am I beginning? The Jaguars and Commanders will head across the pond this upcoming NFL season. The league announcing those two teams will each play games at London's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in 2026. The Jags will also play a game at Wembley. The NFL is set to play a record 9 international games across the 4 continents in 2026. Earlier this week, it was announced that the Detroit Lions would play a game in Germany. The Giants continue to meet with NFL prospects at the scouting combine. New York has already met with Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles and Texas linebacker Anthony Hill, along with Clemson defensive tackle Peter Woods. The NFL draft begins April 23rd. The Giants have the 5th overall pick. The Jets will pick 2nd. They spent a significant amount of time with a certain draft prospect yesterday. When asked about his meeting with the Jets, Ohio State edge rusher Arvell Reese said he respects who he met with and said it's a serious organization. Well, he must have met with somebody other than the Jets.
That's a contradiction in terms. Serious organization, the Jets. What?
I just want you to know, tell me you didn't meet with the Jets without telling me you didn't meet with the Jets. Well, it was a serious organization. So, I don't know, make of that what you will. Although, who am I to criticize? Been watching the Giants for the last 10 years. So, and the most successful New York team over the last decade by far has been the Buffalo Bills. They are now offering a virtual tour of their new facility on the team's website. The new Highmark Stadium is located right across the street in the parking lot from the old Highmark Stadium. I love here it says it is expected to be ready to open for the 2026 season. Well, I hope so.
Nice.
Otherwise, they're going to be playing in the parking lot. This year, the Bills will host the Dolphins, the Jets, Patriots, Ravens, Chiefs, Bears, Lions, and Chargers in their inaugural season of the new Highmark Stadium. You excited, Smitty?
Sure am.
I looked up. I I've been wanting to squeeze this in somewhere, and I guess this is the best place. I was talking with a friend of mine about NFL tickets, and I don't think every team does this, but do you know what a personal seating license is?
No. What? No.
Okay, a personal seating license. And this is more popular with teams who open a new stadium. Although when they're getting all this public money, I don't know how they justify it.
Right.
But a personal seating license is, let's say you want season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
In order for essentially the right to purchase season tickets, you need a personal seating license. Now, the cost of this ranges anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000. And you get no tickets, no
That's
parking
just
passes.
the opportunity to get yourself
A season ticket.
in line.
And I think what it does is it reduces the line. I don't think you pay a fee without the ability to purchase tickets.
Right.
But your personal seating license is your ticket to purchase seasons tickets. So, for instance, I don't think they're charging you $25,000 and then they go, hey, it'll be 3 more years before you can get in. I think it's something you pay and you're essentially guaranteed the ability to purchase a season's ticket. I guess you could decline the option, but it's anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000, depending on the location. The Bills are incorporating this as well. I remember this from whenever, gosh, it was 12 years ago now, when the Jets and Giants opened the new stadium. I want to call it the new Meadowlands, but that's not MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
And there was anywhere from reports of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a personal seating license. And again, that's just for the ability to purchase season tickets.
So Syracuse is kind of doing something similar to that in regards to tickets. So I think they did and
that's per ticket. It's not like you pay $40,000 and okay, I can buy 4 tickets now.
Just each ticket.
Each ticket is anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000. I'm sorry.
Is that every year or is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I had heard that Syracuse did a reset as far as tickets were concerned for basketball this year, which, it was prior to the season and who knows what you got. But apparently it was not only that they raised the price of the tickets, but your opportunity to get either the tickets you wanted or to upgrade or whatever it is was totally dependent upon how much money you had donated in the past to the Orange Pack, which is kind of their thing that they use to collect what now must be NIL money or whatever.
They used to be boosters, right?
Whatever that is.
Buy this $10 T-shirt.
Exactly.
Now it's we have to pay our.
So they had then that decided what tier you were going to be in regards to being able to get these tickets. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for the Bills because the new stadium has less seats than the old stadium did. So you've got a problem from the giddy up in regards to people who own tickets forever, and now you're going to be instituting this thing as well. It's money screams.
Boy, it really does. It really, really does. I just think they're out. Not necessarily Syracuse, but I definitely think the Bills, Jets, and Giants are just out. What's the word I want to use? The average fan can't afford it. They're outpricing the average fan.
Baseball's the same way.
You know what, though? But baseball has an advantage for they have 81 home games. But, I mean, I can still get tickets for a Mets game. Granted, you got to travel, the gas, the tolls. I think parking might be $40. The last time I went, it was 2 years ago. I think parking's $40. Don't let me forget, I got an update on a parking story. I know we talked about Syracuse. I got to tell you about this. But you can get tickets for $8, $11, $16. They have these different promotions.
Right.
Now, granted, it's not the Subway Series. It might be when the Pirates come to town, or maybe the Padres are in town for a 4-game series Monday through Thursday. But you can get tickets for under $20. And I know they charge like $16 or $18 a beer. Hot dogs are like $8 or $9.
That's where the money is.
Yeah, and I totally agree that their baseball is just as guilty of cornering out, edging out, your average fan, but you can get fairly cheap tickets. Whereas, what's a Bills ticket now?
Oh, it's hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
I can't even guess. Right? And then and then you're probably in the third deck.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. And then you pay the parking fee on top of it. This is what I wanted to get to. I couldn't believe this. I heard this the other day on a podcast, so I had to go look it up. I said, there's no way this is real. I kind of lost my hat a little bit when you told me you paid $35 to park at a Syracuse basketball game. Was it Syracuse basketball or football?
Syracuse football.
A Syracuse football game. It might
$35.
Might be more for a basketball game.
I haven't been. I've only been to 2 basketball games, and I parked at someone's house and walked up to the dome. So I didn't have to pay to go.
Well, it sounds like it was a long walk.
No, it wasn't.
You know what the Jets are charging for? Oh, I'm glad you took a walk. Did that offend you?
Yeah. I can walk.
It wasn't like a slight or something, Smitty. I'm glad you got to park for free. I just, in my mind, I couldn't picture any houses that were real close to campus, but I'm sure there are. Yeah. I'll take your word for it.
There are.
I agreed. So if you don't have a parking pass for home Jets game and you want to park in the lot near the stadium, it's $100.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's $100. Yeah.
You know what? And if you don't want to do it, someone else does.
Yeah. No, and I guess ultimately that's what it comes down to. Here's why I flip out. I've had messages. People are like, I don't understand why you think it's such a big deal. Because everything's going up, and it seems like exponentially. So let's say in 10 years, the year's 2036. Is it going to be $450 to park at a Jets game? It's going to be $120 to park outside the Dome for a Syracuse game? Who's paying that? I'm not paying it. I got a nice big screen in the living room.
Right.
And I don't pay anything to sit on that couch. So
I know. You know, I don't know if you saw this story, but this happened to, I think the NBA is terrible like this too. Some guy flew in from Australia to see the Lakers play because he was very excited to see LeBron play. So he pays $32,000 for the flight, courtside seats for he and his girlfriend, and guess who doesn't play that game? LeBron James.
What's the term they use for that, where they rest guys?
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of the name of the term. Someone's going to send it.
They have a certain amount of games that they can decide not to play.
Oh, I got to look up the term. I'm struggling with my words here this morning. It's Thursday. I usually get excited when we're almost through the week. Anyway, we have a busy hour coming up. We're set to be joined by Assemblyman Brian Miller. We talked to his primary opponent earlier this week, Anthony Miccaroni, and we'll talk to Assemblyman Miller here this morning to see what is on his agenda if he's elected for another term in Albany. Also this hour, we'll talk with Joel Barkin, the VP of Communications and Community Engagement at the United Indian Nation. We'll discuss their economic development report. And still to come this morning, Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood, who has been tapped to be the lieutenant governor candidate alongside Republican gubernatorial hopeful Bruce Blakeman. We'll talk about what's on his mind and what he brings to the table for this election. And does Blakeman actually have a chance? We'll discuss that as well. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till GoodRx wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
Crime is already skyrocketing in 2026. You may already own a firearm, but before you face the financial, legal, and emotional weight of pulling the trigger, there's a smarter option. Byrna. That's BYRNA. Byrna makes less lethal launchers that fire tear gas and kinetic rounds designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to escape and call for help without deadly consequences. Their best-selling compact launcher is sleek, slim, and incredibly powerful. About the size of a smartphone, it's ideal for concealed carry, comfortable, discreet, and confidence building. It fires at 400 feet per second with serious stopping power, enough to shut down a threat fast without the legal and moral complexity of lethal force. Byrna is proudly American. Over 85% of components are U.S. sourced, and every launcher is hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. With over 750,000 sold worldwide, Byrna is best in class, and it's legal in all 50 states. No background checks, shipped straight to your door. Visit Byrna.com today and find the right launcher for your family. That's BYRNA.com.
Hi, this is Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. If you're interested in keeping up with events and news in the Mohawk Valley region, I have the show for you. It's called This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it airs every Sunday on WIBX. Join us as we talk with area business leaders, elected officials, law enforcement, educators, and more. Don't miss This Week in the Mohawk Valley every Sunday at 9 a.m. on WIBX 950 a.m. 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we are back. First News Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. So let's see, maybe okay. That was Lance from yesterday. Boy, he's a big fan of Davey, isn't he?
Yeah,
we do
depending on the day.
And I have to say this. I apologize if you're watching on YouTube. Bobo in Frankfurt, he said Tim should sit. Oh, he's referring to Keeler as Kneeler. Oh boy. Tim should sit in Kneeler's chair. Davey is on camera, but you're talking to Tim and you can't see him. It's annoying. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to annoy. But we have the YouTube up and running this morning, but I don't know that we have access to the controls. You know, they put very tight restrictions on us here. So, in studio, and I can almost guarantee he's not on camera. You want to come sit next to me? You can if you want to be on camera. Slide over. Yeah, bring the mic with you. Assemblyman Brian Miller, 122nd District Representative. We talked to his opponent earlier this week, Anthony McRoney. Let's begin here. Your thoughts on being primaried. First of all, do you have a Democrat opponent?
At this time, I don't know. You know, petitions just started yesterday, and at this time, I don't know.
So you will have a primary opponent, though.
The way it looks right now, if the gentleman obtains sufficient petitions.
What do you think of having a primary opponent?
Well, it's something a little bit different. You know, the first.
This your first time?
No, the first time I ran for supervisor many years ago, I had a primary opponent and I beat him by 7 votes. Oof. I think the vote was 14-7, and
wow,
it was in the town of Bridgewater, and that was my
a good percentage of a win.
Yeah, no, that was the numbers were great.
Almost 2-1, Brian.
We campaigned really hard. So that was the first time. A primary. I'm glad the young man's interested in public service. And he has the right to run, and he has the right to run a primary.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
I will tell you, he's a young guy. He seemed like a very nice guy and very good intentions to run. I seems like a nice guy, and I would encourage him to continue down this path if he's interested in it in the future. I will say this struck me as a bit naive. I believe this is his first effort to run for office. And again, I'm not knocking him. But the first initiative that we talked to him about, and it's well-intentioned, but again, it's naive. Lying to voters should not be legal. Candidates who knowingly deceive the public to gain office should face real consequences, closing a loophole that undermines trust in elections. Now, a politician not deceiving his audience is just... Would we even call it politics? We don't know that game.
Well,
do
Jeff,
we?
you're putting me in a real tough spot right here with this one.
I mean, let's be honest. I'll use Kathy Hochul as an example.
Kathy Hochul, she
comes out
and,
the forced mandate on the buses and all the strain she puts on the grid, and then National Grid turns around and raises the rates, and she goes, "Well, I don't know if New Yorkers can afford this." Well, where did that come from?
We talked about this in 2019. I can remember getting, I debated at 4:30 in the morning with Assemblyman Engelbright, and I brought these points up. I brought the points up about is New York State going to, with the CLCPA, are we going to dictate what type of industry we want here?
Right.
Because right now we got a lot of high energy users in the state with the metal makers right here in the Mohawk Valley. Lying, Santos lied.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and he mentioned Santos specifically, and I get lying, but the whole the deceive the public. I feel like, with all due respect, Brian, and I don't know, you don't do too many national press conferences, but I mean, we see it at the federal level, we see it at the state level. I just feel like it's a little naive to try to propose a law, and the lawmakers will never pass that.
I know that I don't even know what to say about it. That's I'm kind of lost for
good
words.
Intentions don't necessarily mean good policies.
Right. Yes.
I'm sure it sounds like it's a wonderful idea. Everyone could sign up for it until you actually try to do it, right? So I think all these things are very nuanced, right? And you could sit there and pick and choose little things out of it or whatever it is. And but I was saying to Jeff earlier, I think it is healthy in regards to having all the not necessarily as the primaries, but we have so many people that are running unopposed. These are opportunities for you to be able to talk about.
I've always had an opponent ever since I could maybe.
I don't know what that says about you, Brian.
Maybe 2 or 3 times. Two or
but
3 times I didn't have one. Maybe once as supervisor, a couple times in the county ledge. But I've always had an opponent. It's healthy. It keeps you on your toes. You don't get complacent in what you're doing. And I can say I don't get complacent in what I'm doing. We're always trying to improve. We're always trying to, see what the next thing is here. I don't run my term on a 2-year cycle. When we try to take care of problems, we try to look at problems to be taken care of in the long run. That's what we do. That's coming from being an engineer.
Let's from there. Let's talk about your record. What are the things you're proud of? What are the things that you'll be touting in this upcoming campaign to show the voters that you deserve another term?
Well, we could talk. I'm going to go back a little bit. Back to my my county legislator days. I was. We put in a scholarship for the firefighters, for the volunteers. For recruitment and retention. It's called the Firehawk Scholarship. And it's a full paid scholarship at MVCC for anyone who joins the volunteer fire service, becomes an interior firefighter, and wants to go to college. And, they have to be active. They have to carry a 2.0 grade average. And after they graduate from MV, if they go on to a 4-year school, the time frames are waived, but they have to give 3 years to the fire service. And we found that if you're a volunteer fireman for 3 years, then most of the time you stay. So that's one thing I did at the county level. And, I was there for a long time, and we, there was a lot of improvements along the way, and I was very happy to be, part of the team that really did a lot here in Oneida County with the county executive's leadership. Here at the state level, I've worked very hard to get leadership positions. Right now, I'm ranker on the transportation committee. Last week, I was just added to the to the Education Committee. I currently sit on higher ed, consumer protection. Let me think here: agriculture, transportation, and leaderships in the conference. So we are affecting conference policy, and we have some great bills out there. We have a compact licensure bill out there that the majority members are asking for us to give it to them so they can run with it. It's to allow military families who live in other states that come here able to use their licenses, right. For nursing, teaching, and things like that. And, you just try to take care of a lot of problems. But there's another bill that we're looking at is our Beams Act. And I know some people think it's a little bit crazy, but just take a drive at night and let's take a look at the headlights out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So we got a Beams Act out there that we're looking at, and there's numerous bills out there. But we work very hard in Albany. We work very hard in the home. Our constituent work in my office is second to none. I have one of the best staffs in the assembly, and I'll probably across Albany.
So explain for those who don't know. When you're talking about this military families license, what's it called again?
It's a compact licensure bill.
Licensure, yeah.
And it allows.
Let me move this a little, just this way. Just when you turn your head, it comes off a little bit.
Sorry,
there you go.
I'm looking at you. It's a bill that if you're stationed and your family's you're stationed not in New York State, you come to New York State, and your license can be used here in New York State.
Right, if you're a professional,
a nurse,
it makes it easier for those families to blend into the community. Yeah.
We worked with the Department of Defense on this bill. It's it's a 70 or 80 page bill, and it's getting a lot of attention, and we're trying to move this along. Matter of fact, the governor put part of this in her budget as policy 2 years ago. And it was taken out, but pieces are getting picked up here and there.
So I appreciate you explaining that. But in explaining that bill, or when you mentioned it earlier, you said the minority, some of the leadership in Albany wanted to take that bill away, essentially from the Republicans. Can you talk about being a legislator in the minority and what it's like to try to get bills passed, whether they're well-intentioned, they're nonpartisan, they're good for the state, but a lot of times the majority party doesn't want to allow, I guess, a victory, if you will.
Well, they won't allow a victory. Jeff, you worked for a majority member.
Yes.
For a while, and you can understand exactly what the frustration that the minority members go through. We have great bills out there, and a lot of the majority bills are taken from us, okay, and then we give them. Right now,
I did not know this, by the way. I didn't work on any of this stuff. I actually wish I had when I was there. But explain more. Go ahead.
So what happens in Albany? It's an extremely partisan atmosphere down there, and our bills go through bill drafting, and then they go to committee, and then they'll sit there, and they'll sit there, and they'll sit there, and they'll sit there.
They won't even take them up for a vote.
Well, they will, because
okay.
There's a avenue for us to get them taken up for a vote. It's called we 99. It's a 99 process, and we pick three. And we're allowed to pick 3 or 4 of our good bills and put them up to committee, and then they'll be voted on in committee. And most of the time, when they're voted on to hold, and then we will ask for an explanation on why the bill's up there for hold. And a lot of times we'll put the majority in a real tough spot because they can't give us a good answer for some great bills that we have out there.
So if you can bring up 3 or 4, how many can the majority bring up?
As many as they'll allow to go through. And, we vote on hundreds of bills annually.
And you get 4.
Is that per member or for the whole committee?
Well, it's for each majority member. That's
minority
that's
member.
Minority member. That's what happens. But what we do with our bills, and we know the process down there. And being in the minority, you just have to learn. When I was in the Oneida County Board of Legislators, I was always in most of my career there. I was in the supermajority, so I was on the other end. But we still listen to our colleagues on the other side of the aisle.
Right.
And we worked with them. Albany, it's a very, very
very
place.
different for sure.
But what we do is the compact your bill. I was asked yesterday, matter of fact, on the floor, if I would give that bill to a majority member, and to move it forward. And we want to move this bill forward. It's a great bill, so that's just the way we do it.
So explain that more. What do you think is the motivation for Democrats in the Assembly to say, Assemblymember Bill Miller, will you essentially donate this bill to one of our members? So when he runs for re-election, he can say, and I brought forward this bill what is it called again? The Military Families Licensure.
Yeah, well, guess what? I want that bill passed.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, and I get that.
And
I'm
that's
saying,
the way
what's
we
the
gotta
motivation for them to take somebody else's bill like that?
Just like you explained. There's a bill here. It's a great bill. Look what I put out here, and away we go.
Is your name still on it as a sponsor
yes,
or co-sponsor?
I still will be a co-sponsor.
A co-sponsor, okay.
But I want the bills passed, and we want the bills passed, and that's the way a lot of the business gets done.
You mentioned the Beams Act as well. It's something we discussed with you on the program previously. This involves LED headlights, et cetera. But this bill, though, you'd like a SUNY or CUNY school to go in and do a study.
Yes.
This wouldn't actually change any existing legislation or regulations.
No. The lighting and the vehicle design is federally.
Federal.
It's a federal regulation.
Yeah.
But, we have found that there was a Congress member, I believe she was out of Washington State, that started this in Congress. So we saw this, we picked it up. We all get complaints and calls, and everybody.
I got flashed yesterday, too, most recently, yeah.
And it's not just us who are a little bit older. It's all across the board, okay? And, it's an act that we want to look at the lighting design. Our vehicles are higher now, so the angle is different. And, I want to use SUNY and CUNY engineering. It's already there. We already have the research people in place. It really won't cost us anything. It'll be a great graduate project. And maybe we can get some traction here in New York State. There's no way that we could just change that design in New York State. But hopefully it'll get some traction federally. And we've gotten emails from people across the country that want to look at this.
So, and when you say it wouldn't cost those schools anything, could there be federal dollars allocated to those schools to do a study?
Possibly. There could be some research money there.
Sure.
And I think it's a great public safety aspect, and maybe we'll find that there's really no problem there, and it's all in our heads.
Anything else? Any other bills you'd like to highlight?
Bills right now? No, we're still working on. We got an energy bill we're looking to put in, and we're still working very hard on our energy costs. We've all had sticker shock on our bills.
The National Grid bills.
CLCPA was put in 2019. I believe we've seen probably a 47% increase in our electric rates.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's and we got electric school bus mandates we're trying to stop. And we had a press conference on Tuesday on solutions that our conference has come up with for some of these electric rates, and we really need a diverse energy portfolio out there. The governor's talked about opening up 5 nuclear facilities here in the state. That's only going to add 5 gigawatts to the grid. It's already been identified that we need 13 plus. We got Micron coming on, and we got this giant over our heads AI facilities.
Data centers
are going to take a lot of power, and I don't know what we're going to do with that. So
would you support the nuclear plants?
Oh, absolutely.
And then, is there anything that can be done right now with the National Grid hike that was approved last year. Is it too late to do anything to stop that or to reduce the rates?
Well, I still believe the governor should declare a state of emergency here and use some of the funds that are available for some of the renewables to be put
the
on
nice
bills.
CERTA money.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
and then take the state tax off it. We got people calling the office daily, and it's not just seniors on fixed incomes. It's all of us that are sitting here in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes from the new families out there to people who are it's just
It's everybody, yeah, for sure. Assemblyman Brian Miller looking to be reelected as a Republican in the 122nd District. He will face a primary, we think. Right now he does have a primary opponent. Whether he'll have an opponent in November remains to be seen. If you are successful, I guess I was assuming you'd be successful in the primary. You not put the cart in front of the horse here.
Well, you never do that. It's a primary, it's an election, and we'll see what happens in June.
I appreciate you coming in, Assemblyman Brian Miller. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
We'll quickly transition. This is Investigator Sacco with the New Hartford Police Department, and he is on with us. Each week we check in with local law enforcement to get their wanted person of the week. Good morning, Investigator Sacco, and tell us about who you're looking for this week.
Good morning, Bill. We're currently looking for a Jaquana Brown. She was involved in a grand larceny from Victoria's Secrets, which is located in Sangertown Mall. It was her, and she was associated with two other females, entered the store back in November of 2025 and stole approximately 59 items worth over $2,000.
Wow. Was this one of these situations that we sometimes see video of, where they walk in with a duffel bag and just start shoveling items, whether it's fragrances or creams or whatever it might be? They just start filling a duffel bag and they just walk out of the store?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Absolutely.
You said Jaquana Brown, and there were two other individuals involved. Have the two other ladies been charged?
Not at this time, but the case is still under investigation.
Okay. Is she the only one who's been identified, I guess, maybe?
Yes, she has been identified.
All right. Do you have a last known address on her? Is this a local person?
We believe she's local to the Utica area. We don't have a confirmed address at this time.
Okay. Jaquana Brown being sought as the wanted person of the week here locally. This involves a robbery that occurred. Am I calling it a robbery?
Larceny.
A larceny that occurred at Victoria's Secret in November of last year. 59 items were taken, and I think many in our audience have seen these videos online and even some of them locally, where a group of individuals will walk in with a duffel bag. Literally, they will just clear shelves out, loading these items into duffel bags, and they walk out the store without a care. And obviously, they sell those on the secondary market, or maybe they use them just because they like to smell good. Maybe that's what it is. Investigator Sacco, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And sorry about the wait. So if anyone has information on that, they can contact the New Hartford Police Department, or they can submit that information 100% anonymous through Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers.
Correct.
The website is MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com, MVCrimeStoppers.com. They have a 1-800 number, and you can submit information digitally as well. We have our free money question of the day coming up. Larry in Whitesboro says, Hobica owes me a free steak because I skipped the free money of the question, free money question of the day yesterday, and he's hoping I skip it for the rest of the week to maybe save him some money. What do you think, Smitty? Little side gig for me? Free steak dinners?
I wonder if is that a slam with the school board with the meals or whatever it is. I'm wondering if that's what that is. The calamari and whatever. God,
maybe.
You've got good listeners. They have good memories.
Yes, they do. And speaking of good memories, you chuckled there when I said I got flashed yesterday. I want you to know she was cute.
I was gonna say.
She was really cute. No, I get the headlight. The headlight flicker sometimes.
Yeah,
I have LED.
They think you've got your highs on.
Yeah, and it's happened many times. As a matter of fact, it happens many times when I'm coming in 5:45 in the morning on Mohawk Street here from Whitesboro to Marcy. And it happened to me. I was not there. It was yesterday evening. And I have the LEDs. They're what came with the vehicle. The vehicle is like 9 years old now. It's a 2017. It's a Nissan. I've never upgraded them. I never had them adjusted or shifted upward. What ultimately happens is I'll get the high beams thrown on me, and then I click mine on.
Yeah.
I go, hey, buddy.
And
they immediately
drives
drop
off into
them
the
down.
ditch.
Yeah,
He's blinded.
My high beams are blinding. I'll admit that, but I don't drive around with them on. So it has been an issue, and many people have complained about it. And I don't need to explain it because if you drive, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Smitty, how much money we doing for the free money question of the day?
$190.
$190. Free money question of the day, and what number caller?
Caller 5.
315-736-0186. Your chance to win $190 from the Hobica Law Firm. It is next. Call now on WIBX.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Black Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
Winter has officially taken over, and the cold isn't playing around. Though the weather is frigid, the deals at Steep Pony Chevrolet in Herkimer are on fire. If your ride isn't ready for snow, ice, and everything Central New York throws at it, it's time to turn up the heat with a brand new Chevy from Steep Pony. Right now, drive a 2026 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $319 a month. Need more muscle? Get into a 2026 Chevy Colorado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with the towing package for only $299 a month. Or go big with a 2026 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just $399 a month. Warm up to a better ride today at Steep Pony Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See why it's always easy to do business at Steep Pony Chevrolet. Customer must qualify top tier credit with GM Financial and qualify for the GM card. Equinox and Silverado must have Chevy lease with GM Financial and household and $3,000 down. Colorado must have select vehicle and household and $1,000 down. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by February 28, 2026. See dealer for details.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center, rather members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, 7:52. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX. We're not going to do Joel Barkin? Joel Barkin? Okay. What do you want? Oh, yeah, I guess. Well, you want me to highlight some of this stuff? Maybe I'll do that. This is the second time we missed him. We do have Larry, though, on the line from Sequoia. This is not the same Larry who messaged in to say that I deserved a steak dinner, right?
No.
No. Oh, that's too bad, because I would have asked you an easier question if it was, Larry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Larry and Sequoia. Okay, here's your question. As Bill would say, this one's doable. Mm-hmm. It's completely doable. It's totally doable. If you do not get it correct, what we have for you is a family 4-pack to the 2026 Spring New York State RV Show. It's happening March 5th through the 8th at the State Fairgrounds in Syracuse. And you can get, if you don't win the ticket, you can get ticket information on their website, nysrvshow.com. This is totally doable. It's for $190. Larry, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, on this date in 1919, President Woodrow Wilson officially designated this geological gem a national park, and it is today one of America's most popular tourist destinations. Ready, go.
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone National Park. It is not Yellowstone National Park. The answer is actually the Grand Canyon.
Oh.
Today in 1919, it was officially designated as a national park. Larry, thanks for playing. Stay on the line. Smitty is going to get your information.
Thank you.
Located in northwest Arizona, the Grand Canyon is the product of millions of years of excavation by the mighty Colorado River. Any chance, though, it could have been a decade worth of alien activity,
Exactly.
maybe?
Have you ever been to Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
I've never been. I've flown over it one time on a trip to Vegas, and it was clear, and I looked out the window, and I must have watched it for 25 minutes. It was just amazing.
I've been
You've
there.
been there.
I've
yeah.
been there, and I just can imagine the first settlers when they were coming and they were going west, and they go, this is going to be a long detour.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it is magnificent. I mean, when you look over and you look down where the Colorado is, river and just see these little specks that are people. Wow.
Yeah, it is amazing. It runs exceptionally deep, dropping more than a mile into the earth. It's 15 miles wide at its widest point. The canyon is home to more than 1,500 plant species and over 500 animal species, many of them endangered or unique to the area. And its steep, multicolored walls tell the story of 2 billion years of Earth's history. So there you go. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Comments here. Lance, I wish you would come on the show, man. I really do. Let's see. He's got a criticism for Davey. I see that. Yeah. He says, tell the Crime Watch officer that I think I saw the most wanted person at a sheep farm in Holland Patton. Maybe it's Davey's brother-in-law's farm. Well, it's definitely not, Lance. I can tell you that for sure. I don't know why you're so bothered by a comment that came in earlier this week. I think you should move on from it. Here's the thing that made me chuckle, though. He says, I was watching the Utica Council budget talks the last couple of days. Is the DPW a new department? Beatrice keeps referring to it. Smitty's laughing at that one. No, I think we all know what the DPW is there, Lance. It's the Department of Public Works. And these budget councils, these council meetings on the budget are going on. They've gone on for the last couple of days. I think they had 3 or 4 of them yesterday with department heads presenting information to the Common Council. So those budget talks are still underway. We're trying to get Mayor Michael Gleamy on the program, hopefully Monday. I want to talk to him about a couple of things, but specifically the budget, this new funding that came in. It was announced shortly after he advocated for and argued for an increase in AIM funding. This wasn't AIM funding, but it is an increase in funding from New York State. So not only the city of Utica, but Rome, and I think they said hundreds of cities across the state are benefiting from this money. So that's certainly a good thing. And then is there another comment I need to get to? Utica Council. No, that's Lance's comment from before. And Larry in Whitesboro, yeah, I should get a free steak dinner. I agree, Larry. Absolutely. All right, coming up next hour, we'll talk with Todd Hood, the Madison County Sheriff and Lieutenant Governor candidate. He's the running mate to Bruce Blakeman, who is running for governor. And at least the most recent polls I've seen show that it's not really a close race right now, with Hochul up anywhere from 20 to 25 points. But it is budget season.
Right.
So depending on how the budget shakes out, sentiment in New York could change there. Also, we saw this situation with these, and I know it's New York City, but it's still the state of New York, these officers getting pelted with snowballs earlier this week.
Yeah.
Some of them were injured.
Exactly. I think 1 or 2 went to the hospital.
Yeah. So I wonder if that changes any minds, because you have Mamdani boy down there essentially saying, this shouldn't happen, but I believe he said they're not looking to prosecute anybody.
Right. Lynch just chimed in. He must be a Proctor grad. No wonder Howard Potter is always fired up.
I don't get it.
He said he must be a Proctor grad. No wonder Howard Potter fired up.
Well, fired up on Joe's behalf or against Joe?
Maybe.
I don't know. Lance, you got to explain some of these jokes. They say they're no good if you have to explain them. We'll also talk with John Decker from Gray TV, get some reaction on the State of the Union. Stay tuned. We'll have a news update next. We'll check weather as well.
And we will also be joined by Kristen Burgoyes. She's the chair of the America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk for 2026 also, Jeff.
We will just chat with her as well. Stay tuned. First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM.
From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The U.S. and Iran have been talking again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Indirectly through a mediator in Geneva today, as President Trump demands Iran scale back its nuclear program, saying he won't let them build a weapon.
As the president has said repeatedly, he wants to address that problem diplomatically, but of course the president has other options as well.
That's Vice President Vance as the U.S. military buildup keeps growing in the Middle East.
Axios reports that White House envoy Steve Witkoff told a private gathering on Tuesday that the Trump administration is demanding that Iran agree any future nuclear deal will remain in effect indefinitely. Iran's foreign minister says his country is not ready to give up what he calls peaceful nuclear technology and warned it will retaliate if attacked, with U.S. bases in the region seen as a potential target.
Fox's Stephanie Bennett. She mentioned Steve Witkoff. He will also hold talks today in Geneva with Ukrainian officials. Last night, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky had a phone call thanking President Trump for his effort trying to stop Russia's war, which keeps raging with another barrage of Russian drones and missiles launched overnight across Ukraine. Now to a deadly shooting at sea.
It's not something that happens every day. It's something, frankly, that hasn't happened with Cuba in a very long time.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, after 4 people were shot dead, 6 others wounded on a speedboat registered in Florida. Cuba claims those on board were armed Cubans living in the U.S. wanting to infiltrate the island and unleash terrorism.
The majority of the information we still possess is what Cuban authorities are providing both the public and the U.S. government. We have our embassy on the ground in Havana working this as we speak.
Olympic hero Jack Hughes, who scored the winning goal in the gold medal game, got a standing ovation last night in New Jersey as the NHL season resumed.
I'm so proud and I'm so happy that the men's and women's USA hockey teams brought gold medals back to the United States of America.
Hughes also went over and got his U.S. Olympic teammate Tage Thompson off of Buffalo's bench to join him in the spotlight at MSG, and then Thompson scored and led the Sabres to a 2-1 win over Hughes' Devils. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Following the attacks on 9/11/01, FDNY firefighter Daniel Foley assisted in the rescue and recovery efforts at Ground Zero. Daniel spent months and months searching for victims. Now, Daniel's death was the direct result of 9/11-related cancer. He leaves behind his wife, Carrie, and their children. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family's home. Join us. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
The woman who sued social media platforms claiming they were made to be addictive will take the witness stand at the trial today. She already settled with Snap and TikTok.
The 20-year-old, identified as KGM, alleges Meta and YouTube knowingly created addictive features that led to her depression as a teen. A therapist testifying she diagnosed KGM with social phobia and body dysmorphia at 13. KGM's lawyer saying she was using platforms before she was 10 years old, asking Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Instagram head Adam Mosseri if they'd done enough to prevent underage users from using the platforms. Zuckerberg saying it's difficult to verify users are at least 13 years old, the age required to use the app, but that the company has made progress. Mosseri testifying he does not believe users can be clinically addicted to social media. Meta and YouTube both deny the allegations, arguing they've debuted several safety features to protect users. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Also inspected in court today, a U.S. Air Force veteran, former Major and pilot Gerald Eddie Brown Jr. was arrested in Indiana, charged with providing defense services to foreign nationals without authorization, accused of going to China and providing combat training to the Chinese Air Force. A week after civil rights leader Jesse Jackson died, people will be paying their respects in public.
The late Reverend Jesse Jackson will lie in repose for 2 days at his Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters here in Chicago, with dignitaries and people from across the country paying their respects to the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. protege, who died last week at 84. Jesse Jackson Jr. saying his father's memorial will be welcome to all, despite any political differences.
Because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American.
Other services for Jesse Jackson will take place in Washington, D.C. and South Carolina next month.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed. Up for the Dow, down a little for the NASDAQ before today's trading. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 24 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Boonville fire chief, who was injured in a church explosion, now out of the hospital. 60-year-old David Pritchard Jr. has been released. However, two other firefighters, 43-year-old Nicholas Amakuchi and 71-year-old Richard Zatka, remain in critical condition. The blast happened last week at the Abundant Life Fellowship Church on Route 12 in Boonville. It is believed that a fuel line was damaged before the explosion when the building shifted under the weight of heavy snow. 6 people under arrest in connection with an attack at an Oneida County bar. Authorities say the suspects assaulted 2 men at a bar on College Street in the village of Clinton in November. The 2 individuals were kicked and punched repeatedly. One of them had to be hospitalized for 7 days. The suspects all face multiple charges. They've either been released on bail or issued appearance tickets. For the first time in nearly 5 years, the Catholic Diocese of Syracuse is emerging from bankruptcy. A judge approving an order that will allow the diocese to start the process of distributing $176 million to those sexually abused by clergy and other church staff. Bishop Douglas Lucia says his heart breaks for the damage and abuse inflicted on the church and its members. The diocese covers 7 counties across 116 parishes and employs roughly 3,000 people. A popular 80s rock band has been added to the list of performers at this year's New York State Fair. Quiet Riot is set to take the Chevy Court stage on Wednesday, August 26th at 6 p.m. Come On, Feel the Noise, Bang Your Head, and Don't Want to Let You Go are among their hits. There's no cost to see the show. It's part of the daily admission to the fair, which runs August 26th through September 7th. So they will be there on the opening night. Seems odd to talk about the fair already. We haven't even gotten to spring yet, and it's the last week of summer.
Over.
Yeah, summer is over. But they do a good job of promoting these concerts. They have these dribs and drabs, these slow leaks where they're basically announcing an act or a performer pretty much every single day.
Heck, they're already announcing concerts at the Lakeview Amphitheater.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, who did I mention earlier this week was performing?
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
And the tickets go on sale tomorrow at 11 on livenation.com.
I found out.
Or at Ticketmaster location.
He's also going to be at SPAC.
Yes.
So he'll do Syracuse and Albany.
And there's a big announcement tomorrow for another act that's coming, but I won't say who it is.
Well, you already know?
Yes.
We'll let the cat out of the bag.
Come on.
Why not?
Nope.
Why can't you say?
Because I'm not. I told somebody that I wouldn't mention any, but they told me who it was, but I'm not going to say anything.
Well, what genre is it?
Country.
Huh, okay, I don't get it. Are you a part of the promotional team?
Yeah.
No, I was just told not to say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. If you want to see Highmark Stadium,
why don't you tell me? I'll tell, and then you say.
I'll skip the Highmark Stadium. It is 24 degrees, cloudy skies. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
A little bit more persistent lake effect snow showers north, so extreme northern Oneida County into Oswego County. Still some snow showers. We may actually see a snow shower or two. Could coat the road in spots, maybe up to an inch, but I think most of it tapering off early this morning when the advisory expires. This afternoon, partly sunny and chilly upper 20s. Tonight, down near 10, single digits in the North Country. Sunshine and milder 40 tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy and 24 at 8:09. All right, in sports, you can check out the Buffalo Bills' new Highmark Stadium. It's a virtual tour. It's been posted on the team's website. It's located across the parking lot from the old Highmark Stadium and will be ready for the 2026 season. This upcoming year, the Bills will host the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots, of course, the division rivals, along with the Ravens, Chiefs, Bears, Lions, and the LA Chargers. Some more football news. The Giants meeting with some NFL prospects at this year's scouting combine. Among them, Texas linebacker Anthony Hill, Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles, and Clemson defensive tackle Peter Woods. The The NFL draft is April 23rd. The Giants have the 5th overall pick. The Jets will pick 2nd. They spent a significant amount of time meeting with Ohio edge rusher Arvell Reese. Reese said afterward that he respects the team he met with and that it is a serious organization, leading many to wonder if he was talking about the Jets or maybe another team. Some NBA action. The Knicks will play coming up tomorrow. They take on the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. The Nets hope to snap their 5-game losing streak when they host the San Antonio Spurs at the Barclays Center coming up tonight. And Smitty, what else do I need to mention? Syracuse will play on Saturday. They take on Wake Forest.
Wake Forest and the Utica College Pioneers will face Nazareth on Saturday. Unfortunately, the Comets came up on the short end of the hockey stick last night, and they lost 6-3 down in Hershey.
Yep. And you mentioned the Pioneers. They are at home hosting the semifinals Saturday night at Adirondack Bank Center. And they will take on Nazareth for their chance to go to the UCHC Conference Championship game, which, if the Pioneers are in it, it will be in Utica.
Yeah, and if Chatham plays Geneseo's number 2. So if Geneseo wins, they'll be coming here. If Chatham wins, they'll be coming here. Just saying if Gary and the boys are successful in winning on Saturday.
All right, it is 8:12. We'll go to the phone lines where Joe Load is waiting. Good morning, Joe.
Just lost him. Joe, call back.
We lost him. I thought I was going to see Joe. I thought Joe was still going to come in yesterday or today, but I guess not. So Joe chiming in. Joe, call back now. We can get you before the break. Actually, we're going to get you after the break. Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood joins us next. He's lieutenant governor candidate here in New York State. How will Bruce Blakeman do? Does he have a chance?
Here's Joe.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. Well, I wasn't sure about today because I thought you had said Bill was coming back.
Yeah, no, I was. It's fine either way. I was teasing you. What's on your mind?
Oh no, I was going to say, Davey, go ahead, tell him it's okay. I don't mind that you tell him who's coming.
This is the inside man.
Go ahead, Davey. It's okay. I'll give you permission.
Davey's answering the phone. We got the Madison County Sheriff calling in now.
I heard something about Tim McGraw possibly, but...
Oh, interesting.
He's already been announced, Tim McGraw.
Oh, so what about Dirk Bentley? He's coming.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see. Who else did I see was coming?
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. He'll be at SPAC.
Todd SPAC's going to be there.
Yep. Albany and Syracuse.
Dave Matthews, I think he always comes, but he might be at SPAC, though. He might have announced SPAC. He's big into SPAC.
Matthews is always at SPAC.
Kenny Chesney, but Kenny's at Spear again in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So are you excited? You a big country guy?
Well, I'm a Kenny Chesney guy, and I'm upset because last year I couldn't see him because, again, he took residency at Spear in Vegas, and, sometimes it's tough to get away to go to Vegas just for a show,
Yeah, now, I hear you, Joe.
It again. And it's tough. I mean, how are you going to, if you can get up and go to Darien Lake or someplace like that, but to go to Vegas, it's tough. I hate that flight.
Yeah, for sure. Although you do get to fly over the Grand Canyon, so that's a nice, pretty.
That's the closest I've gotten to see it. So, all right. Well, I won't take up your time if you got to talk to somebody because I can talk forever.
I know you can, Joe. I appreciate it. Yeah, we do have the Madison County Sheriff on hold, Todd Hood, Lieutenant Governor candidate here in New York State. We'll catch up. Go ahead.
So let's hope we get somebody that's going to at least stand up for America. And when I say stand, I mean literally stand up for America. What a disgrace here!
I know what he's going into.
What's that?
The whole issue that happened with the president when tell him to stand up for the United States.
I watched the whole thing, Jeff. And it's just the fact that you can't stand for somebody like the U.S. Olympic gold medal hockey team. You can't stand for military honors. I mean, you can't stand for a poor girl's mother. The girl got stabbed on the train there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's politics, and then there's actual humanity, and the humanity is gone from the left. And plain and simple, something needs to be done about it. There's no humanity anymore.
Joe, I don't think I can disagree. As a matter of fact, I think I agree with almost everything you said. I don't blame one side or the other. I think both are do a bad job. But I will say, it was an ugly sight the other night for sure.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all human. We're all breathing people, and we should be all together. But to not stand up for your brother or your sisters, I mean, something's wrong there. There's a disconnect, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm driving through the frozen tundra of the North Country where we got at least 7 or 8 inches of snow up here.
Overnight last night?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
baby.
better you than me. Better you than
Good
me,
on
Joe.
you.
I hope you got up nice and early to take care of that.
Jeff, nothing is bad anymore now that I have that big 32 horsepower tractor with a 68-inch front blower.
Yeah, I would imagine it clears it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Would you just do one pass? You just do one pass through?
It's funny because it'll do 2 passes, pretty much clears my entire road, which is nice. But, you know, I have the Bluetooth, so I just crank the tunes and just have a little fun, do the neighbor's yard, you know, and, yeah, it's awesome.
Awesome. Glad you're enjoying the snow country up there, Joe.
Yes, always. That's why we live north.
Any upcoming events to plug, Joe?
Not for me. Actually, no. I have a wedding this weekend, but that's it. There's nothing really to plug for me.
Wow.
St. Patrick's Day Parade, though, look for the appearance. It's been a long time, but look for the appearance of Joe Lodi. He'll be out there with Stingers and Lynx Automotive at the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
There we go. There we go.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Good luck, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, the St. Patrick's Day Parade is just around the corner. Smitty, do we need to break? No, we'll skip it. We'll skip it now. Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood's been on the line waiting there. He is the lieutenant governor candidate tapped by Bruce Blakeman, who is the Republican running to unseat Kathy Hochul as governor of the state of New York. Good morning, Mr. Hood. How are you? Do we have him on the line there? Good morning, Todd Hood. How are you?
Good morning. Am I on?
Yes, sir, you are. We are on. We are live. Bill is not in today. He's a little under the weather. We hope he'll be back tomorrow, but we appreciate you spending some time with us this morning.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So talk about, let's go back to the beginning here. Did you think you would be tapped maybe to be the lieutenant governor candidate? And with all due respect, there was somebody else, I guess, that was picked, but then he ultimately backed out, and they said, let's go with Todd Hood. Talk about that process.
Yeah, I mean, I got a phone call Super Bowl Sunday, and, basically it said, hey, we need to talk to you. I need to see you down in Nassau County. That was 10 o'clock at night, and I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, went down and had words with Bruce Blakeman and his staff. And, it's history from there. And,
yeah, absolutely. Did you expect, was this a surprise to you? I know, I believe you had considered running for some either statewide or federal offices previously.
No, I didn't, but so this job comes up, right? The lieutenant governor position. And, in my opinion, in law enforcement in our state, we've been getting beat up so bad. I've been praying about it, complaining about it with all the crime reforms and election reforms and taxes. And by the grace of God, this ends up on my lap. And at first I was like, well, what should I do here? And the more I thought about it, we have the chance, Bruce and I have the chance to come in and have the ability to change a ton of problems in New York State. And I need to step up to the plate. And Bruce needs to step up to the plate, and we both agreed to get this done for the people of New York State. Enough is enough. We're going to bring common sense back to New York State, and just very, very pleased just for this opportunity.
Sure. I'm sure one of those issues, you talked about issues involving law enforcement, one of those has to be bail reform. What have you seen as it relates to bail reform in Madison County, how it's impacted things there?
Oh, I would say across the state of New York, it's, I have 2 sons that are police officers and, one of the county sheriffs in New York State. So we see police all over. It's across the state, just the disrespect and the lack of law by not holding people accountable. Basically, if you don't know what bail reform is, we're mandated in law enforcement to give appearance tickets for some pretty serious crimes. and let people walk away. And we are the only state in the nation that a judge can't issue, put somebody in jail because of a dangerousness level. So the judge has no discretion if somebody's, dangerous. They have to follow the rules of bail reform also. And that's where the problem is. A lot of people are just reoffending after time and time again. And it's 6 to 7 months down the road when they get their court appearance that they're held accountable. So, maybe we can change that. Senator Helmig out of Monroe County put up a bill called the PROTECT Act, and that would enable judges in New York State to put people in jail that are a danger to society. So, but they can't even push that legislation forward. Under the current administration, they refuse to even do that, and that's bipartisan law that they're putting in there, trying to fix a problem and make New Yorkers safer, but they refuse to do it.
Are there any cases, either Central New York or Madison County specific, that you can highlight where you had a suspect who was committing a violent crime and was immediately released and then went on to commit another crime? I want to say I recall a case involving stolen vehicles or setting fire to vehicles. It may have been a different county.
Yeah, well, the scope of everything is crazy. Like, even with juvenile crime in New York, it's off the charts. We had like 6 kids, ages, they were probably ages 10 to 15, steal a car out of Syracuse, drive to our county. They broke into a gun shop because they were so small. One of them slid through the bars, stole 30-something guns, and we did a search warrant in Syracuse the next day. All the guns were gone. We arrested almost all of the kids, and every one of them got kicked loose, the next day. So, and that's not even counting the 16 and 17-year-olds that we can't even put in our county jails, and there's no facilities to put them across the state. They had these big promises when they did the raise the age law that prevented 16 and 17-year-olds in your county jail, but they never got the funding for the places to put them. So that would be something else that we could fix also. A lot
For sure.
Of these crimes are really serious.
To be more specific on what you're talking about, you talked about stealing a vehicle and then breaking into a gun shop and stealing some 30 guns. I'm aware of other cases where there is a juvenile offender who might even be extremely disruptive at home, like beating up mom, right, or assaulting a younger sibling or an older sibling, right, or a grandparent, right, or something, and the police are called, and there's no place for this juvenile to be taken. So they essentially have to remain in the home despite the fact that they are essentially terrorizing that home. There's not a facility for those under the age of 17 to be held and overseen, even if they are involved in some very serious stuff.
So let me tell you how bad that is. And that's Office of Children and Family Services. They're the one that put the restrictions on where they can go. Like, I've had cases with the state police where we have kids in the interview room which don't even have bathrooms or medical facilities. So these people would rather see these kids sit in an interview room for 3 days where we have to have 2 cops watch them because they can't find a place. Now we have to provide food, bathrooms. We have to find a place to shower with them instead of just having a separate spot over at the county jail where we could have psychiatric services, medical services. They're sleeping on a cot on the floor having meals delivered from the jail or from McDonald's because there's no place to put them in the state. And they refuse to change. And it's very frustrating for law enforcement. I mean, when you're an agency and you have kids on your interview room floor sleeping for 3 or 4 days straight, we've had them in there till a bed opened up. It's very sad is what it is.
So what ultimately happens in the, for instance, that you gave, where you have a teenager, you're holding him for multiple days, you're, running to McDonald's to get this child some food, he's sleeping on the floor. How long do you hold him for, and ultimately where do they go?
Till a bed opens up, and then we'll get them to the facility where the bed is, and then usually they're transferred all over for court anyways. But the problem is, so say you have to drive to Buffalo or Long Island because that's the facility that's open, then they have court the next day. So we're all over the state with some of these kids. In the bigger cities, make it times 20, the smaller counties and agencies and things like that. But the bigger cities, it's a problem.
Yeah, for sure. We're talking with Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood. He has been tapped to be the lieutenant governor candidate running alongside Bruce Blakeman, who is looking to unseat Governor Kathy Hochul. A lot of topics we can get into. I want to stay on law enforcement for a second. As it relates to corrections officers, this is an issue we've been highlighting here on the program for years now, and it's the HALT Act. Can you talk about the HALT Act and whether or not you would change or overturn any elements of that policy from Hochul?
This is a great point, and I really appreciate you bringing this up. I was out in Auburn about a week ago, and I was talking to some of the corrections officers up there, and they're like, "Hey, Sheriff, I want to talk to you about this HALT Act." These people in Albany are making this like there's dungeons in state prison in New York State. He goes, "These are housing areas separate in the prison system." He goes, "They're like a dormitory room. They come out of their cells, they can sit at tables, they can watch TV. They're not solitary confinement where they're some dark hallway with no lighting where they're getting a tray slip through the door, 24/7. And they're like, this is misinformation that they're putting out. These inmates, these dormitories that they have for the worst of the worst, they keep the corrections officers safe because it's a little more secure, that they don't have them just wandering around being able to walk right up to the desk with the inmates. So when they do something, assaultive in there, and they're preventing this with a HALT Act, it's not that bad, and it worked just fine, But then they took it away, and look at all the problems we have. Right?
It's a shame now also in regards to we're so far behind in regards to just filling these correction officers' places that they don't get a vacation. And I was saying to my wife, it almost feels like the COs are the ones that are actually in prison because they can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this governor, she never acknowledges. New York State sheriffs, all 62 of us stepped up to the plate. We're the ones that solved this problem. We had all these state prisoners in our county jails so they could get beds to open up, especially with the way that they're closing prisons in New York State. So New York State sheriffs, you got to give them a round of applause for getting her out of that mess. And she's still not totally out of it. But, there's no more common sense with the laws with this stuff. Common sense tells you that if someone's misbehaving, they may need a little time out to go in so they can get their composure back and get under control. And these laws like the HALT Act prevent that from happening.
Yeah, I've even heard of instances where, it's been described to me by, I know a few people who are corrections officers, and they've said, look, you'll have a guy, and the guy has got a beef with somebody else in the dorm or whatever. And right. He's scared, so he can't go to the SHU for protection. But if he comes up and he punches the CO in his face, they'll throw him in the SHU for a week or 10 days or something. So it buys him this temporary buffer. So what does he do? He turns around and he assaults a guard.
Yeah, yep, and that's what it is. These people, they're state prisoners. They know how the system works, and they know exactly what they have to do to survive. The problem is our laws should protect them, and they should have the protection where the inmate's not running the show, and they can control this thing and put people where they need to be when there's disciplinary issues.
Yeah, and the other end of the coin, and I feel like it's just fair to mention this, we obviously had two situations at prisons here in central New York, which give a big black eye to corrections officers as a whole. But there were the two situations where inmates were involved in beatings and brutal, fatal beatings of inmates. That's certainly the minority by far. That's not the majority of the COs that are staff in jails and prisons across New York State. All right, I know law enforcement is obviously your wheelhouse as the sheriff of Madison County. I want to dip into a couple of other topics. I think the day after you were tapped and accepted the nomination, one of the things that you were talking about was affordability in New York State, which I guess for both parties has kind of become a buzzword, but it is true. The cost of living just continues to go up.
Yeah, we're currently the #1 tax state in the nation, and It is not affordable. My daughter moved out of the state. She moved down to North Carolina because it's not friendly in New York State, especially when you're a young person starting out. Bruce and I are big on lowering taxes, getting rid of the green energy mandates. Anybody that knows anything about energy knows that the more you have of it, the better you are, and the more sources you have and the more choices you have, the better you are. And we're in alignment with getting rid of these mandates. Hochul cut some of these fuel connection lines, the gas lines and things. All that stuff costs money. Lower delivery fees for the gas and taxes. Encourage cheap energy such as fracking, and natural gas. These are all things that could bring us back to reasonableness in New York. It's 50% more expensive in New York than in Pennsylvania, a state right next to us, because they're tapping into all those cheap energy forms. It's and don't even talk about the taxes. With the bailouts. Where we at? She gave a $1.5 billion budget bailout to New York City. $1.5 billion. Imagine what that does. In 2027, she's looking at a $27 billion hole in our budget.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, in spending all this money on people that aren't even citizens of our country, just throwing it at them. What are we? We're $6 billion in 3 years for wasteful spending that they spent on illegal immigrants in New York. Just imagine what $6 billion would be rolled back into New York State.
Yeah, what roads it could pave and how it could reduce taxes.
Yeah.
So
it's
can you
crazy.
talk, Todd, we're talking with the Madison County Sheriff, Todd Hood. Can you talk more about that, the money spent on illegal immigrants? And is this the result of those, like when Greg Abbott was busing immigrants from Texas to New York and we were putting them up in hotel rooms? Is that what you're talking? Elaborate on that money and how it's being spent.
All of that, what it costs. All that came from taxpayers, the hotels, everything that's going on. The bailout of New York City, $1.5 billion. Kathy Hochul just gave to them. So all that stuff costs money. And all these people are in here illegally. Some of them have been here for a month. I understand people that have been here for 30 years. There need to be some discretion with that, but you can't just keep throwing money at people. We don't have it in New York State. It's not an endless, fountain here.
Yeah, for sure. There is an argument to be made that New York City, the biggest, obviously, city in New York State itself, that bailing them out is necessary to avoid a future financial shortfall and negative impacts on New York's biggest city. If Bruce Blakeman was governor, you're saying he would not have bailed out New York City in that situation?
He uses common sense, so he's going to take a look at things and use discretion and reasonableness. Does it need to be $27 billion budget, or what can we do? What's the misspending here? Look at what they did with the Medicaid spending, right? You're going to see massive fraud with that for that CDPAP program. A lot of that money was thrown away at people. So what it is you can pay a family member to be your caretaker in New York State. Well, they're uncovering a black hole of funding where money was going to people in other states even. And wait till that hits the news.
Sheriff, the reality of it is, for you guys to win, you're going to have to pull all the Republicans, you're going to have to pull the independents, and you're going to have to somehow figure out a way to at least get into New York City, which has now just elected Mondani, a Democratic socialist. How do you guys see how you're going to be able to crack the code to be able to get enough votes there in regards to it to get yourself over the top?
So I'm optimistic. Bruce Blakeman won an election in Nassau County where there were 100,000 voters that were Democratic, and he still pulled it off. I think he can do the same thing with New York State. He's reasonable. Savings, everybody wants to save taxes. Everybody wants safer streets in New York. Everyone wants businesses to move back in, and nobody wants wasteful spending. He's going to bring common sense back to it, where a lot of this money is just being thrown away haphazardly, you know, and there needs to be reasonableness and common sense. And that's what he brings to the table.
We're talking with...
And I think people are going to get behind him. Yep, I think people are going to get behind him on both sides of the spectrum.
Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood, we appreciate your time. Tim, what you were referring to, some of the latest polls have Hochul up 25% in a head-to-head against Blakeman. So we'll see if that number changes. But as I say, there's a lot coming up as far as the budget and other issues that could change the opinion of many New Yorkers. And Todd, just one comment on the CDPAP program. I believe this is the same program. I have some experience with this because I've had elderly relatives who have passed, and instead of doing the 24-hour nursing care, there have been times where we've kind of taken shifts as a family, and someone goes over for 8 or 10 hours, and then to care for, in fact, my grandmother and then her sister, who fortunately made it just 2 weeks shy of 101 years old. So that was a beautiful thing. But I do have some experience with the program, and I'll just say I don't doubt that there's fraud in that program or any program, but not necessarily all of it was being done illicitly.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree, and I'm not. That program I'm sure was wonderful. It's like everything. Some things are great, but there's always the people that come in, corrupt things, do the scams, and ruin it for everybody. So I'm hearing that's going to be massive, though, fraud.
Sure. Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood, we really appreciate you taking some time to join us, and we wish you the best of luck. Well, hopefully we'll check in again on the campaign trail.
Okay, you guys have a great day. God bless, and take care.
You too. Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood, Lieutenant Governor candidate. He will be running alongside Bruce Blakeman, the Republican candidate, hoping to unseat Kathy Hochul as governor of New York. We'll take a quick time out. We'll come back and talk about the Heart Run and Walk. Heart Run and Walk weekend coming up next weekend. We'll have our Heart Radiothon a week from tomorrow, and we'll talk with the chair of the Heart Run and Walk, Christine Burgoyce. Oh, did I say Christine? I'm sorry. Kristen Burgoyce. I apologize. She'll join us next on Keeler. We'll also check in with John Decker of Gray TV here on WIBX.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at inserasflooringoutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. It's selection, it's price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, inserasflooringoutlet.com, and see for yourself, or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
It's time for a Utica tradition, America's greatest heart run and walk on March 7th. And on March 6th, it's the 55th anniversary of the WIBX Heart Radiothon. Sponsored by the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group this year, the Radiothon started when local runners honored the passing of WIBX personality Ralph Ellinger. They ran for 18 miles and raised money for the American Heart Association. Celebrate with us on March 6th. Hear from Slocum-Dixon doctors about ways to be healthy. Cheer on participants in the treadmill challenge and help fight heart disease.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, we're back. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. We hope to have Bill back tomorrow, although it might not be until Wednesday. But Smitty and I are plugging along. Joining us in studio is Kristen Burgoyce. Did I say that right?
You got it.
She is the chair of this year's America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. Very exciting.
Very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're just about a week away, a week and some change. The Heart Radiothon will be next Friday. And then, of course, what's that, Smitty? Why are you shaking your head? Did I say something wrong? You can jump in. Okay. The Heart Radiothon will be next Friday. And then, of course, America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk on Saturday. So how did you get involved in this and the Heart Run and Walk?
Well, I've been a longtime participant myself personally in honor of my late grandpa who did die from cardiac disease. And then for a few other reasons, I have a great team with Marie and Heather and all of them that are backing the Heart Run and Walk to make it what it has been for so many years in our community. But also Adirondack Bank has been a long time participant and sponsor for the walk, so I have their support in doing so, which is great to have.
You said you've walked before. Have you had a team?
I have. Yes, Team Everett in honor of my grandfather, and also Adirondack Bank has been growing our team year over year as well.
Sure. Talk about what we can expect, those who aren't familiar with it, or we're going back to Utica College now. Talk about what the weekend includes.
Absolutely. So at Utica University on Friday, March 6th, you can expect the Healthy for Good Expo. That is where the Radiothon takes place there. And we have the very infamous treadmill challenge that goes on. They've expanded to 4 treadmills this year to increase participants and the friendly competition that takes place. So that runs from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The expo itself is open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. There's going to be a lot of different vendors set up there, sponsorships. We'll have health screenings from MVHS, lots of heart healthy activities going on. And if you haven't registered yet, that's a great opportunity to do so.
Talk about Saturday, the big walk, and there's some runners, of course, as well.
Absolutely. So we'll be there, Utica University, for the America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. That morning, a lot of logistics. So the road closures will take place. We recommend that people arrive to the Utica University campus by 8 if possible. Registration opens as early as 8 a.m. One of the biggest things that we've been so excited about this year is that the bandshell for the start of the race has been moved off of the main road there down onto the campus itself. There's a berm, so it'll help kind of shield us all from that harsh wind that we had last year. But we're all also keeping our fingers crossed for a beautiful sunny day. So.
I'm with you. I checked this app. I was complaining about this morning. I don't even know if this is just comes on the iPhone app or if I downloaded it at one point. Right now, and this will change 48 times between now and next week. Right now, it is saying next Friday. Oh, I hope this is true. There's a snowflake icon there, but it says a high of 50 degrees next Friday for the Radiothon. And then for Heart Run and Walk Saturday, it says 56.
That's amazing. That's music to my ears.
Now, listen, by lunchtime today, when I check this app, it'll say a high of 19 with 4 feet of snow because this changes constantly. I don't know how often they update their models or why there's such a variance. But right now, it's saying next weekend's going to be a great weekend to get out and take part in the event.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that.
What else do we want to mention here? It's not too late to sign up, right?
It's not. No, you can sign up right to the day of. Now is a great time to do it if you have the opportunity. You can go to, I'll get you the web address here. I believe it's uticaheartrunandwalk.org. And you can register. You can register as an individual participant. You can register a team, anything right up to the last minute. And we'd love to have people join us.
Can you talk about the money raised during the event the whole weekend, where that money goes and whether or not it's invested back into the local community?
Absolutely. That's always a big question. So since 1949, the Heart Association has funded more than $6.1 billion in research nationwide. But everybody is very curious about how that gets invested back into our local community. So in the Mohawk Valley specifically, funding $160,000 in research at Masonic Medical Research. We've put recess kits into 10 schools into the Mohawk Valley to help promote heart-healthy activities. We've done many CPR experiences throughout the community, growing our nation of lifesavers. Recently, we've put 3 blood pressure kiosks in different public locations that attract a high volume of visitors. The Heart Association staff has offered so many CPR experiences, and we've also collaborated with the UCFC soccer team to help raise awareness about the need for hands-only CPR and the difference that can make in saving somebody's life.
Yeah, it's so important to have not only this technology and these resources at places where the community tends to gather, and it can help save a life, but it is still the number one killer. I think not only in the U.S. but globally, the number one killer, heart disease and stroke. So it is so important, and it affects so many people.
It absolutely does. It does not discriminate.
And like you said, even unfortunately, you have a personal story where your grandfather passed away. So we appreciate you. I know it's a lot. I've been heavily involved in this in years past. Not so much this year. I think Smitty is taking the brunt of the meetings and the planning that goes into it.
You are correct.
And but Smitty's happy to do it, and I was always happy to do it as well. But it is a lot to take on, so we're really grateful. Thank you for doing it. I hope I don't say your name wrong again. I think I called you Kristen. No, it is Kristen.
It is Kristen.
What did I?
So you
what did
can
I
call
call
me
her?
that.
What did I call her coming into the segment?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know if I called you Kathy. I don't know. But Kristen Burgoyce, thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
Chair of this year's America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. Next Friday, the Radiothon from 6 to 6. And as Kristen mentioned, we'll have 4 treadmill challengers on the treadmill taking steps each hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We encourage you to call in and make a donation. 624-WIBX. That number is unchanged. 624-9429. That's next Friday. And, of course, Saturday, America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. We are good. Thank you so much. I'll see you a lot next weekend.
Sounds great. Hope to see you there.
Really appreciate your time. A quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll touch base with John Decker from Gray TV. His thoughts on this week's State of the Union from President Trump. It's coming up on WIBX.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
I'm Bill Hemmer, and these are the most impactful moments in American history. October 14th, 1947, from a Boeing B-29 bomber, U.S. Air Force pilot Chuck Yeager descended into the Bell X-1, a sleek orange plane which he dubbed the glamorous Glennis. At 20,000 feet, the X-1 launched from the B-29 and soared 30,000, 40,000, 42,000 feet into the sky Yeager accelerated faster until Chuck Yeager reached Mach 1.06 and broke the sound barrier. It was a flight many believed to be impossible, but Chuck Yeager's historic achievement helped Americans reach new heights and test new limits. For more on this impactful moment in history, go to foxnewspodcast.com. I'm Bill Hemmer, Fox News.
When faced with complex challenges, there are people who come together to use their skills and connections to solve problems and transform lives. That's us. We are Rotary, a global network of people taking action to make the world a better place. We work with community partners to build green spaces for all to enjoy and to connect with nature and each other. We support local youth through mentorship and literacy programs, developing life skills that lead to academic success and personal growth. We're committed to causes that improve lives everywhere, building peace and economic opportunity, providing access to healthcare and clean water, and ending polio forever. We are people of action. Find your cause and take action with us. Learn more at rotary.org/action.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're back. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Programming update. I think I misspoke last segment. I said we hope to have Bill back tomorrow, but possibly not till Monday. Smitty says I said Wednesday. I did not mean that. We'll have Bill back in the next couple of days. And I know you're all looking forward to it, as am I. All right, we go to the phone lines. John Decker from Gray TV. He is the only lawyer on the White House press corps, and he does a great job. If you hear great questions being asked during some of the press conferences, it's a good chance it came out of the mouth of John Decker from Gray TV. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. You're having me on just a few days after the State of the Union address. I attended the President's State of the Union for my 30th time. So it never gets old to me. And to me, the biggest moment from that speech on Tuesday night was probably the biggest moment for you watching it on television when the President introduced Team USA, the gold medal winners, in the House chamber. That was just awesome. Awesome to be there for that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about your 30 years of experience covering these. Maybe I'm wrong. They seem to have gotten more chaotic in the last 10 years.
You're not wrong. You're 100% correct. They have. You see members who, for whatever reason, believe that this is a participatory event, and you see members heckling the president during his speech. I hate that. I hate to see that. And it happened Tuesday night as well. Two Democratic lawmakers, Congresswoman Tlaib from Michigan, Congresswoman Omar from Minnesota, they were heckling the president as he delivered his speech. And, you go to that speech if you're a lawmaker not to heckle. You go to that speech to hear what the president's proposals are, what his agenda is, and you're respectful. And then if you disagree, you put out a statement or you go before the cameras in Statuary Hall and you say you disagree, but you don't do so, and have a debate essentially while the president's giving a speech.
Yeah. A couple of things I want to get into. I'm not sure if you've covered this yourself, but there's a claim that was it Rashida Tlaib was chant when the USA chant started, that she started yelling KKK, KKK. And I believe there's video that shows this. Are you familiar with this? Do you have any comment on it?
I'm not, I have to tell you, in that moment, I looked around, but I didn't really focus on any individual member. So if that happened, I didn't see it. I was really focused on Team USA. I actually bring binoculars into the House chamber for that speech, and my binoculars were focused exclusively really on the team. Once in a while I like to see, what the president was doing, but I was focused on the team more than anyone else.
Absolutely. These have kind of taken on the tone of a pep rally to some degree, right? You have one side not booing, but not cheering. You have the other side cheering and chanting. I don't know how much we learn about the upcoming agenda from the president. It seems to be a reiteration and almost like a highlight reel of the things that he's been successful on in the previous months.
Well, yeah. I mean, the president certainly wants to talk about what's been accomplished in his first year back in the White House, what he believes his successes have been, but also laying out what he'd like to see Congress take up and what his agenda will be for not only the remainder of this year, but also the remainder of his term. So that's what we heard from the president on Tuesday night. He largely kept to what was written on the teleprompter. He didn't really, veer off that. It wasn't like a campaign rally, for instance. So that's one of those rare events where the president is actually disciplined, and just reads the script that was written for him.
John Decker, unfortunately, we're out of time, but we appreciate your time each and every week joining us from Gray TV, the White House correspondent. Have a great day, John.
Thanks a lot. Always appreciate it. Have a great day and a great weekend. Talk to you. Bye-bye.
We are out of time. Back tomorrow on WIBX.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Will Iran make a deal? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is a big question as nuclear talks resume today with the U.S.
The principle is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
That's Vice President Vance. Iran claims it never wants to build a weapon, but does want to keep making fuel for nuclear power as an American military buildup grows in the Middle East.
After several hours of indirect discussion in Geneva, Switzerland, mediators said creative and positive ideas were exchanged. If President Trump chooses to attack Iran, the Iranians have warned that all U.S. military bases in the Middle East would become legitimate targets. A devastating war involving the whole region, warns Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The U.S. is investigating what Cuba claims was a terrorism attempt to infiltrate the island by armed Cubans who live in the U.S. in a speedboat. They were shot by Cuba's military. 4 died, 6 wounded.
The gunfire erupted near Kyle Falcones. One of the victim's family members told the Associated Press her relative had become obsessed with the, quote, quest for Cuba's freedom, wanting a change in government. The details of the incident remain unclear. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he's gathering information.
That's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will answer questions today in a congressional investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking scheme. It'll be former President Bill Clinton's turn tomorrow.
The House Oversight Committee subpoenaed the Clintons last year, and after a back and forth over scheduling, Oversight set deposition dates for this past January. The Clintons failed to